Welcome to This is Futbol. Bienvenidos a This is Futbol. I'm feeling so good today. Boys. So good. It's Tuesday. My boy Renier had a little soccer game today. I'm going to be visiting. Yep, I'm going to be visiting Drive Pig Stadium for the first time this Saturday. Oh my God, my heart. You have no idea. My heart.
They're going to open the doors for you?
I hope so.
Open the doors for you?
I'm going to show up. I don't know if they're going to open them or not, but I'm going to show up.
You're lucky you don't have to show ID because if they see your name there, oof.
Yeah. But let me tell you, man, my heart has been beating since yesterday, Monday. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for Inter Miami seasons to start. It's game day. Let's get into the topics of the day.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Let's get to it.
Let's do it. So the first topic of the day, we're going to talk about, obviously, the moments of the week so far. We're going to talk about Champions League recap of today's games. We had some interesting games today. We'll do some MLS power rankings.
Do we really have to talk about that?
We do, man.
Bro.
Unfortunately.
Production set. So we got to do it.
So, and then we're going to have our special guest on, Marcelo Balboa. We'll be on with us a little bit later today.
Right.
So,
all right.
I know a lot of you guys are excited for that one. So,
man, we better get some questions. We better get some questions from people for this guy because he was a big player.
Absolutely.
World Cup player, playing Liga MX, playing MLS. That guy is part of one of
the 90s, man. The 90s.
When MLS was born.
En Miami hay una
All right. Enough of that. You know it's game week. You know I'm excited.
Game week. Yeah, game week. Let's do it. MLS is back.
Nico comiendo sonda que banderín de lata, man. Come on, man. Good song there and everything.
It was a good one. But let's get into the moments of the week because we have a busy show to get to. So I'm going to lead off this week because my moment of the week has to do with our very own Renier Rolfi Rodriguez. He made his appearance today, his debut on the Drive pink pitch, playing for DeAndre Yedlin's pink team there. There you go. There you see him.
Right.
I was talking him up.
Gonzalo Higuain is back. Can we say that? Gonzalo Higuain is back.
It looks like it. He got a little bit of trim on the beard there, but it looks like Pipita's back, eh?
No me puse bloqueador. I need a little bit of sunblock.
Right there, dude. Right there, you look just like Higuain, man. No. Come on now.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like the game was going on last year. Look, there's no fans and everything. It's crazy.
Low blow, man.
That's a low blow.
Come on.
And you're trying to get into the stadium.
I was there today, and for week one, there's a lot of excitement around. I'll get into what we talked behind the scenes with coaches, with players, and everything else. But they're hyped, man. They believe that they can. We're not in there yet, Osorio. We're not talking Madrid, man. But they wanna take all that criticism and putting them very low on the table and use that as a motivation. But I'll get more into it later.
All right.
So that's my moment of the week, and for most of you that didn't know, like I said, Renier took part in that soccer game today, and he got some behind a lot of fun. And he got some behind the scenes stuff to tell us. So that's what I'm most excited to hear.
First of all, let me tell. Congrats, Inter Miami, for an amazing media day. We did some one-on-one interviews for a network we work and talked to Neville, DeAndre, Jedlin, Clark, Stefanelli. I think Stefanelli is going to be good. He likes the city. But organization-wise, today, the media day game and everything, it was 10 points. It was really good. Everything they did, welcoming, giving us uniforms. Actually, here it is.
Oh,
there it is.
Technically, this is a player-worn jersey because I played in this jersey, so it's player-worn.
So we could probably get that signed and give it out to do a little giveaway to the fans.
Yeah.
So, look, it says libertad para soñar. So it's a really good jersey. I like it. I like the other team was wearing La Noche. They lost 3-1. Our team won. Wasn't
I
expecting
mean,
anything
I
best.
predicted it. I told Tommy. Yedlin's team was going to win. I said Rolfi was my MVP, sleeper for the MVP. And rumor has it you were the only one who did a nutmeg. So that's what I heard.
There were a couple. We'll give you a shout out to Ramses. Ramses did a nutmeg too. We got Rodrigo was a really good player in our team. Jenny Chu too. We had a couple really good players, really good team. It was 13 versus 13, so it was a lot of people on the field, but it was good. It was a lot of fun, and the players taking into consideration more Neville. Neville was the one that actually said it first. Ramses was interviewing him and asked him, a lot of experts, pundits, and whatnot have you 13 and under? And he's like, yeah, I reckon that. And we're taking that into motivations. We have it in the locker rooms. We have it in our offices. We take that not as a criticism, but as a fuel to get into the season. So Yatlin said it too. Joseph is really happy. He's focused. He's past Atlanta. He is focusing on Miami. He wants to score. He wants to play. And Campana too. Campana said that Pizarro is a very good, a strong voice within the locker room, which surprised me a lot. So the team has,
voice.
yeah. And Neville said about Pizarro too that Pizarro is not the same Pizarro we saw when he came and wearing number 10. This Pizarro is a little bit different, more mature, more for the team. So taking in consideration also what Tony Kerky told us last week from the friendly that he got to watch. Let's see. We'll see week 1 how it turns out against a really good team, and we'll see. But the guys are at least fired up. I'll give you that much.
Well, I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up. You
saw. I saw you. Yeah.
Nico, I've been lighting up our chat. I've been lighting up our chat all week. So
day by day, guys. We'll talk about it. I know we'll talk about it later, but man, I think those power rankings, MLS power rankings, they're kind of right on the East Coast. But we'll talk about that later.
We'll see him.
We'll see. But let's get into your moment of the week, Rolfi. It's a good one.
Yeah, play it.
After a while now, I had my injury and stuff. So like, yeah, I'm happy with the goals. I'm happy with the win today as well. It wasn't.
This is a player from Watford. His name is Sema. He's a Swedish midfielder. He scored 2 goals in the victory against West Brom, but that's not the highlight of the interview and whatnot. He has a stutter, but he took the courage and to get in front of the mic, doing the post-game interview with the channel of the Watford team, and decided to go on. And I think it takes a lot of courage to show up and tackle those type of problems. Then again, it's just it's not a problem that you have to hide. It's something I think what he did is great. It's something that everybody should take pride into. If there's something, to show and do it, and also don't hide from it. And I think that's really great. It shows a lot of leadership for the Watford team, and he scored 2 goals. What a great way to make viral and bring more attention to the team and to him.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great story.
But I think it was a great moment. There's another player to suffer, very famous one, James. So under control, and I think it was great.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Nico, what about you?
All right, let's do mine. Producción, let's do this.
Press play.
I think Carlo thinks the tie is over, and I think it as well in the moment. But in 3 weeks, it's how it is in these moments. The closer you get to the game, the bigger our chances.
The bigger our chances. The bigger our chances. That's my moment of the week, guys.
Oh, we know what's coming here.
We had a rough game today. I know that we're gonna get to that later, but I feel very, very embarrassed and disappointed about this team. A team that has played at the most elite level for over 6 years. A team that has brought up a bunch of world-class players. And we show up at home to Real Madrid, winning the tie 2-0 in the first 15 minutes and get outscored by 5 goals afterwards. Jurgen, Klopp, the tie is over, mate. Over. We shouldn't even show up to Madrid. As a matter of fact, there's some players in Liverpool that should, frankly, quit. It's embarrassing the way they perform today. That's all I gotta say.
I don't know if you want to talk about it now, but I'll give my point of view about the game. I was driving back, but I had it, and I was listening to it, and it was just goal. Bro, I think that the Alisson mistake on Vini's goal, that's where you guys just went just plummet.
I don't think that was the moment. I think every single 5 goals were the moment. I think the team didn't get outplayed because I don't think that Liverpool got outplayed.
Second half you didn't exist.
Well, yeah, you can say that after the 4th goal.
Well, don't get me wrong. That's the first time Liverpool gives up 5 goals at home. But international play, right?
In over 70 years.
Yeah, but this season in all competitions, at least 7 teams have scored 3 or more goals against Liverpool.
Yeah, and we know their defense has been absolutely terrible. So
yeah, and there's players like Virgil van Dijk went from best center back in the world to, man, I don't think I want you on my team to play in the park tomorrow. You know?
Right.
The players this season are taking a lot of criticism, but I think that there's got to be a point where you question sometimes what Klopp does, during games. And to me, this is one of the games that is going to take his legacy as a manager, because he just didn't have any reaction into the game.
But what? How can you react?
Do something as a coach. Try to fix your defense. The first 4 goals were absolutely errors from the same exact player, which is Joe Gomez. So
I don't know why Joe Gomez started instead of Matip, to be honest. Because of speed against Vinicius.
It was probably because of that. It was probably because of the speed that Vinicius can create, and especially because you have a player like Trent Alexander-Arnold that lacks defensive duties. He's more of an offensive guy.
Yeah, but Matip is a better defender,
but not faster.
Doesn't matter.
I think on paper that was well played, but at the end of the day,
I'll give you the best example. Barcelona, how do they play against Real Madrid? They put Araujo. Araujo is not the fastest player. Araujo is not the fastest player, but it's the smartest player and when it's covering on the 1v1. So either you go smart or you go fast. At the end, speed is not going to get you to cover. It'll get you to cover ground, but not cover a player. If you're smart about it.
No, but you're comparing a Rolls Royce, which is Araujo, to a Fiat or a Twingo.
You don't have a Rolls Royce. You don't have a Rolls Royce, so you have to.
Not anymore. That's what Virgil van Dijk was. He was kind of the guy who held it, who held it back down, but he hasn't been that for you this year.
But not only that, you have Alisson is in a.
No. But on paper, Alisson has been great the whole season. But he's the type of goalkeeper that he can give you 1 or 2 mistakes. The type of mistakes that he does every single season.
Yeah, but those mistakes come in the worst time, man. Then you have Trent is not having a really good season, but who are you going to put? Milner?
But again, that's what you question. You had your time since they won the Premier League in 2020. They haven't signed key players into each position that they needed, that they knew that they needed. City does it a different way than Liverpool does. City thinks 2 years ahead of time to actually sign players and then maybe get them developed and then go so.
Also.
So Nico, one of our fans brings up a question here for you directly, and I think it's Don Cafecito. He wants to know what made you support Liverpool.
So when I came to this country for the first time, it was 2001. We didn't have the Argentina League wasn't around, so I couldn't watch any of the Argentina League because for some reason we didn't have cable in my house. and I started watching the Champions League, and you know, getting to know different teams, and I found Liverpool very interesting. It's funny because during that season, we actually didn't play the Champions League. We played the UEFA Cup at that time, and then we won it against Deportivo Alaves. It was one of the greatest games.
Greatest finals I've ever seen.
Ever. So that's the reason why I started I became a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, that game. If you didn't support a club, that game made you support a club.
Definitely. But going back to the game, I think that like I said, I don't feel well. We can say maybe the first half, but on the other hand,
you know, I should go. Let's go with that. I think for the Liverpool problem, and give into consideration, let's go and let's see the starting lineup. Is there anything different seeing the club?
It's the same lineup. It's the same lineup that has won the past 2 games. You know, they played a derby.
Yeah, but you didn't play Madrid the last 2 games. You didn't play Champions League the last 2 games.
But what do you have on the bench that can make this team better? And that's when you question, number one, the directors, FXG, and number 2, Jurgen Klopp, for not actually demanding to sign players. Look at the players that were on the bench.
No, I see it. Milner, Keita, Firmino, Ox, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott.
None of those players are going to be factors. None of those players can come into a game and change the game immediately.
Carvalho, Matip.
At least not anymore. Before, at least Keita could come in and get and offer you at least a little bit something.
But since that injury and being in talks of contract extension, Keita has been lost.
I'm done with that guy.
But that's what I said. That in past times he could offer you something, but it's just not there anymore. It brings me to an interesting question for you, Nico, and it's a topic that came out I think this weekend, or maybe even late last week. I think there was an offer we talked about, an offer to buy Liverpool, and the ownership has already come back and said, Liverpool is not for sale. We're only interested in getting external money. Well, what do you think about that as a Liverpool fan?
Honestly, it is what it is at this point. They came out. I think it was yesterday, John Henry, that said that they're not looking to actually sell. They're looking to actually have some more investors to actually boost the club. But I just don't think anything is going to change. I think they're going to go about it the way they've been doing, and unfortunately, the elite days for Liverpool are kind of over because of that. Because the team's old, and you don't just need 1 or 2 signings. So they're actually probably going to go for Jude Bellingham. But at the end of the day, I think the restructure wasn't done on time, and we're going to start suffering from now on.
Yeah.
But going back to the game, though, we gotta actually praise the way that Madrid was actually poised and came back in the game, because not every team goes down 2-0 in the first 15 minutes and makes a comeback the way they did.
If you say Mística one more time,
Mística, la mística de Madrid. I think it's true, man. You have to think about that.
We've been hearing it. How long, Rolfi, now in the from
look,
Nico?
Look, to be honest,
dude.
I'm only that. Wait. I'm talking. I'm with Nico in like 10 different chats for work, and this is football podcast and whatnot. He put Mística in every single one of them. That's his excuse, Mística. Forget about everything else.
But I mean, come on.
Yeah, I agree.
Madrid has been known for the team that makes comebacks.
I know. There's that team that the team is dead, and you're like, okay, he's dead. Let's go. No, you have to make sure he's dead, score a couple more, and make it seem like the game is 0-0 always against them. But you also have to watch how you play against that type of team. I think there's a few teams I know. I think Xavi with Barcelona, and not because I'm a Barca fan, but has found a way to play against that type of team.
But that's taking into consideration the weekend, though. They're in the same league.
But they don't play every single day. They play right now with the seguidilla a partidos with Copa del Rey, Liga, and Copa del Rey.
It doesn't matter. They know who they are. They're within the league, so you see each other. Come on, you can't say that they don't actually prepare more to play Barcelona rather than a Liverpool.
No, but you didn't. You tell me you don't know how Vinicius plays. You don't know how.
We
I get
definitely
that.
know how Vinicius
Yeah,
plays. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we
So,
definitely do.
but
Yeah.
I know it's very difficult at home. Marco Vinicius, Benzema dropping down, Rodrigo, which was the surprise to end the lineup, starting with the front three. Valverde played amazing today. He's coming back after the little dip he had during the World Cup and after. But today you had Modric and Camavinga, man. Also playing Modric playing again, superb. So it's just that this players actually what Real Madrid
Modric is,
yeah,
dude.
he's
Modric is
37
something
too.
else, man.
But
Something else, dude. 37
what,
years old and playing at that level.
what Madrid has too is
impressive.
that everybody steps up. Your team today, what happened with Liverpool is that no one stepped up. You know, el gol de Salah it's a mistake from Courtois, but your goalie also did a mistake. You know, and
Yeah, so it's
look how
1-1.
your
It's canceled. It's canceled.
yeah, yeah, but look how the reaction's not
And it's been
canceled at the end.
it's been the whole season, Renny. You know that's not gonna change now. You know
I
we
know,
we
but
Liverpool we Liverpool fans. You know we get for the slightest thing. You know we get excited. You know, and we won those two games. You know against Everton and Newcastle, and we thought maybe there was a chance, but definitely no chance. No chance this season, guys.
No, not for you guys at least, but there will be a chance possibly for Napoli, who beat Eintracht Frankfurt 2-0 today in what was kind of just a regular normal game that you would expect them to win. We all talked about seeing some highlights and reading up on the game, and that there was nothing too crazy about what had happened in the game. I don't know if you, Rolfi, read anything different than I did. That you'd like to comment on that?
no. To be honest,
No. Yeah, no. That's what, I mean. It's real,
dude.
It's
can you guys
really
imagine?
not much.
Can you guys imagine if Napolis actually won the Champions League?
Well, I mean,
it's very difficult to have a Champions League final like it was the Monaco Porto with Mourinho's Porto.
Yeah, times have changed. There's now there's a lot of super teams, but
they'll be like los caballos negros, those dark horses, right? Like Napoli's the one right now.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, look at Ajax from a couple years ago.
But look at Ajax now. They didn't even make it out of their Champions League group.
That's because they sold their whole team. They sold the league. They sold, sold. Yeah. So I mean, and that happens. You're gonna have that, but
also Napoli is in great shape, although they were eliminated from Coppa Italia. But they're 13, 15 points ahead in Serie A. So that title's wrapped up. I would like to see a Napoli team against Real Madrid or Bayern Munich if they pass, or PSG if they pass. We'll see next round how it plays out.
I think this team is serious.
Just that we haven't seen them play against a big European team, and I'm not talking about Inter, Milan, and what they play in Serie A. So because Serie A right now nowadays is not like the most competitive league, Juve is even without the deduction of points, they're still very far. Although they had some few good games, Milan, Inter, they're not there, So
yeah, no,
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I think this team's serious, man.
The Napoli team, yeah.
I think they're very solid.
They are, but I don't know, man. There's still a lot of big names left in the tournament. Man City is still in there. Like Rolfi said, Inter plays tomorrow. Of course, Real Madrid.
Okay, but
Chelsea, Dortmund. I mean, you still have
you guys don't think that Napolis could actually beat a Chelsea or Dortmund right now?
Oh, absolutely. I have no doubt. I think Napoli is extremely in just they're just playing their game right now, and I think they can beat anybody. So
definitely, and especially because like Renny said, you don't know who you're gonna get drawn to next. They might get lucky again and get somebody like Porto or somebody like I don't know, Dortmund.
Or Benfica or Bruges.
Or Benfica, yeah, definitely.
Right. I mean, or you could get AC Milan, which is somebody that you're used to playing. That could that would actually be an interesting draw if you would get Napoli versus an AC Milan or a Napoli versus an Inter. I don't know if those are possible, but if they are, I mean, it would be interesting to see those two teams go at it a couple times outside of the league, no?
Yeah. But definitely, I would love to see Annapolis win. Oof. Dude, we will have, like you said, wouldn't it be kind of crazy and odd? Argentina wins a World Cup in 2022 and Napolis wins the Champions League.
And El Scudetto. And El Scudetto, right?
And El Scudetto, yeah.
So and I mean, it's 1 year ago and 2 Argentinians. We'll be joined by another Argentinian in a little bit. But and we'll have to ask him about that. It would be pretty interesting. Is there somebody up there watching?
Yeah.
Honestly, if it happens, it would be absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy.
So we have
I would dedicate an entire show literally just to that topic.
Yeah. So we can say that we have 3 teams that are not 3 teams. Well, yeah, maybe you can say Benfica is in. At least 2, right? To the next round of the Champions League.
Yeah, definitely 2.
Napolis and Madrid are right in, no? They're a lock.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. I still think, the Bayern PSG is still open. Milan Tottenham is still open. It was only 1-0. Dortmund Chelsea is still open. And we'll see what happens with tomorrow's 2 games. But really, those are the only 2. I agree with you, Nico and Rolfi. Napoli and Real Madrid seem to be the only 2 to be through to the next round.
Yeah.
So, a lot of interesting games coming up.
Yeah, and tomorrow too. Tomorrow we have Leipzig City. I'm kind of interested in watching that game because City hasn't been the same this season, and I want to see what they're made of.
And Leipzig is always like that black horse, like Rolfi said. I mean, they've been a surprise the last couple Champions Leagues. If I remember, they made it pretty far. I think it was a quarterfinal or semifinal, maybe a couple years ago. So you never know what happened. What's gonna happen in Champions. It's pretty crazy. So, but let's get into our next topic, which is our MLS power rankings. Before we get our guest on the show, because we have a lot of interesting questions for our guest, and we want to get into these MLS power rankings that have come out over the last couple of days. The 3 of us are extremely mad at the power rankings, especially. Where they have our local team ranked. So I don't know if you want to throw them up in the production truck. If somebody wants to throw up one of the 2 conferences.
The East Coast, right? The East Coast.
Let's talk about the East Coast. That's the most, the most interesting one. Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Red Bulls, Orlando, NYCFC.
This is the power ranking from who?
So from what I know, this is the power ranking from a bunch of different writers. What they did was they just did the average of what all the writers did. They put the high of what that each team was ranked and the low.
So that's why you get your average, and then
Miami is 13th. Wow, that's bad, guys. That's brutal.
Yeah, the average by the writers, their average is 10.5. That's where they're ranked or what their average is to be at.
That's
do you guys think that we are actually that low?
I don't think so. I have Inter Miami going to a playoffs and at least playing well. Now with the new playoff format, you never know how many games you can play. But I at least have us in the playoff. Then again, today Neville said they have us 13, 14, 15th last season too, and we ended up playing the playoffs. So with this, what I'm seeing here, I do have Philadelphia. I like Philadelphia and Cincinnati up there. I don't know about leave the table, man. Don't take it off. We're still talking about it. Rebels, I like them there. I don't think I think New England's gonna bump up a couple places, and I also think Nashville will go up a couple places too. I have DC United actually going 15th. I don't have any hope on the DC United team more because I don't think it's a fit. The whole we touched the subject before. But Montreal is a really good team. I'm surprised they have Montreal so low.
So so one of the guys commented that this is the list of the Apple TV guys. So the MLS right holders, they're pundits. All right. I'm surprised how high Orlando is and Cincinnati. Because Cincinnati, who does Cincinnati add to be so high up there?
But this is a good team.
Arias, right? That's the only guy that they added.
Yeah, but that doesn't give you a plus, green or up or anything like that.
Yeah. One of our followers says that he thinks NYFC is way too high. I don't know if they're that high. They did lose Castellanos, but there is a rumor that Santi Rodriguez is coming back.
And they added Brian Cufré. They added Brian Cufré, which is a great player from Argentina, coming from Europe actually, and also Matias Pellegrini has been playing really well. Another former Inter Miami player.
Yeah. So and that could definitely be a topic that we're gonna talk about on a future show as well. Former Inter Miami players that do well on their teams that didn't do well here. But I mean, for me, I think Inter's ranked way too low. I have them somewhere in the 6, 7, 8 range. I think it really is going to depend on the summer transfer window. If our sources come through and that lefty that we've been talking about,
it could all change.
Everything can change. So I mean, we're kind of making predictions based on stuff that we're not really sure about. We'll have to wait and see really what the summer transfer window brings, and I think we'll have a better idea of what's of where everything is gonna kind of settle in the East sometime around the middle of summer. That's what I think.
Yeah, definitely. This one I'm in shock, and the reason why I'm in shock is because I thought that they ranked LAFC way too high, honestly, way too high, and they lost a lot of key players, man.
Yeah. I don't see, and I'm surprised people also have and I know this is Solana too, having Seattle so high. To be honest, I don't see Seattle going.
They're kind of washed, yeah. I feel like they have a lot of players. They're kind of like Liverpool at the moment,
Well, look, no. I had Seattle as my champion. That last week, that's what I said. I didn't have them on my board so high. On the Western Conference, I think they're more of a team that's made for the playoffs rather than the regular season, and so I had them a little bit lower on mine. I was surprised at Sporting Kansas City being so low. I was surprised at St. Louis being ranked last. I had them a little bit higher at 9 or 10. I think what the organization has done is fantastic, and they've set them up really for success. And I think they're going to be a team to watch this year.
Yeah. So. The team that I think that is going to be the surprise, and maybe they get the supporter shield or the or one of the first two places. I think it's Sporting Kansas City, man. I think that they're a surprise team. They're a sleeper team, and they have a very solid team defensively first and offensively with Alan Pulido.
Yeah, they get their DP, their striker DP back. Last game he played was in 2021. So it's been over a year without him. They get it back, and let's see Sporting KC how it does. What do you guys think about San Jose with Lucci?
I think it's gonna be tough over there. I know the owner is not much of a big spender. They like to bring it through the academy. I know Lucci personally. I played with his brother growing up, and he coached me for a few games. So, I know he has the potential to be a great coach, but it's tough in this league when you're not given the assets by your owner or by the front office. It's tough to succeed because, there are other owners that are giving their managers the players that they need to go far in this league. So, really it's going to depend on how well he can develop those young players out there. He has an interesting forward, though. I'll tell you that. He has a really interesting young forward out there to keep in mind. So we mentioned him on the show last week, but he's one of the big surprise candidates this year.
Let me just tell you one thing with this format, new, because it was official from MLS, that any team that is playing CONCACAF Champions League will almost also play Leagues Cup plus MLS. They're looking at 60 games a year, which is a lot. And remember, there's 20 senior players that can only be in the roster. I think a lot of teams are going to run out of gas really fast. Keeping an eye on those Champions League, CONCACAF Champions League teams.
Yeah. Well, and I think that could help out the teams that aren't playing those other tournaments in the actual in our MLS local league, because those teams who aren't playing, all those games are probably going to have a little bit more legs, like you said, towards the end of the season. They could maybe push and take one of those teams, that is on the border of getting in or getting out and they can make a push themselves. So, you make a really, really interesting point. One thing, that I want to bring up about the MLS, as we wait on Marcelo to join us here. I know he was in practice. Yeah, he was in practice, and
he's coaching. He coaches under 17 Colorado Rapids, Colorado team, and they move his practice a little bit later. So we're just waiting on him to finish, and he'll join us.
Absolutely. So one thing I want to get into, and it literally just came out, it's kind of breaking, is this new MLS playoff format. Like, I started to read about it, and I was like, hold on a second, there's a wild card game, and then, that'll be one game, and then the first round of the playoffs is 3 games. And I was like, what, 3 games? Why would you play 3 games? And then there can't be any ties. So if any of those games ends in a tie, you go straight to penalties. And then after that, it's just 1 game. Like, what is that? Like, why can't they just be normal and just play 2 legs?
It's kind of like taking the game into American sports, like you're trying to add a little bit too much, like to make it like either NBA with their All-Star and all that stuff, or like the NFL with their new formats now. I feel like it's kind of like that. Like they want to take the the actual sport that route, the American way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, one of our fans over here says more money, and I mean,
more games, more money. Yeah,
absolutely. But I mean, I actually posted something on Twitter, and I want you guys to I don't know if you guys saw it. It was before the show, but I was responding to somebody else who was commenting on the new format, and I said, why don't they just do 8 teams from each conference? Kind of like in the NBA, but just do 2 legs, a home and away, and you just eliminate each other, and right there you're gonna have 16 games. At least in each conference, there's 32 games just in the first round, and then as you get close, I mean, it's basically like a mini World Cup, and then you do it that way. I think that would be a much a better way to do the playoffs. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of this. I think they're just trying, like Nico said, to do something new, something interesting, something fun. If they wanted to do that, I wish they would go back to the
shootouts.
The shootouts. We were talking about it yesterday, about the old shootouts. I mean, I'd much rather watch a shootout after a 0-0 tie or a 1-1 tie than 3 playoff games. Or even, I was watching yesterday in the old All-Star games, they had the goalie. I don't know if you guys remember the goalie shootouts. Yeah, the goalie wars. Yeah, where they were each there and they would throw it or kick it at each other. I mean, I was watching that. That was amazing. I mean, and now you start watching some of the things in the All-Star game, and I don't know. I just feel like it gets redundant. It gets boring. And they used to have so much more entertainment back in the day. And I really want to talk to Marcelo about that, because, I mean, the game really has evolved. And I don't know, has it evolved in a better way here? Or, in some ways, yes, maybe in some ways, no.
Yeah. There was one of our guys that commented a pretty interesting thing. He said, do you guys believe that the MLS champion should be added to Copa Libertadores?
I do.
The thing is more complicated thinking that should be in Copa Libertadores, because there's already competition for the champions of MLS, Liga MX, Liga Hondureña, Costa Rica, and all that, which is CONCACAF Champions League. It already exists. So how do you do it? I think the pathway should be Leagues Cup. Winning it can take you to Copa Libertadores, because there's already a tournament between the 2 powerhouses of CONCACAF, which is USA and Mexico,
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think on this topic, I think there should be 2 MLS teams and 2 league teams from Liga MX in the Copa Libertadores every year. And then there should be 2 MLS teams and 2 Liga MX teams in the Copa Sudamericana every year. I think that's how it really should be. I think it would make it interesting. I think really what the big challenge here is going to be travel. I mean, if you have like the Seattle Sounders, has to play against, I don't know, Montevideo Wanderers, That's a really long trip. And if you play on a Tuesday, but you have a Saturday game, it's the times. I don't know. It's really rough on the players, especially when you're playing, like you said, almost 60 games just between, your normal league matches, Leagues Cup and, CONCACAF Champions League. So
it'd be fun though. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind seeing a team maybe like Inter Miami going to play in La Bombonera or something like that.
Absolutely. Or it would be great to see maybe some sort of like a Club World Cup of just maybe like the top 12 or 20 for
it's coming up. The Club World Cup, the revamped one, the 32 team one, the Infantino one. That's gonna be done with rankings and whatnot, So that also is not a wake up call, but it's a way for MLS teams to perform well, not only in MLS because your ranking also depends on how you beat teams who are better ranked than you, same as national teams. So at the end, the Leagues Cup, CONCACAF Champions League is very, very important for all the MLS teams playing in it because you go up in that ranking, and that will put you in that MLS, in that Club World Cup.
Right. All right. Well, I think it's time for the moment that most of our fans were waiting for. I mean, it might be, but we've been talking a lot of champions, a lot of stuff, but I think we might have him there. Let's see if in the production truck we can get him there. Yeah, it looks like he's there. All right, there we go. Marcelo, welcome.
Cello.
Welcome to the show.
Cello.
Yeah, welcome. All right, Cello, welcome to This is Futbol. It's a pleasure to have you on. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you know these two guys. You don't know me, but I'll let them get started.
There you go. What's up, boys? Sorry about that. I was in a little bit of, as you can see.
Hey, we appreciate the time you take off your day in order to be with us.
Anytime,
honor to have an honor to have you here. You're a great friend too, an amazing friend, amazing colleague, and everything else. Really happy to commentator, analyst, player, coach. So very, very happy to have you on This is Futbol podcast.
I appreciate the invitation, and Copas Libertadores would never work because of travel. Mexico tried it, and they were just exhausted from having to get there Tuesday, Wednesday, come back, play league games. So, but I would like to see it eventually. I would, but right now I think logistically, with Leagues Cup and with US Open Cup and MLS and all the tournaments that they have going on right now, I don't see it being, first of all, financially viable to a lot of MLS teams.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's what I had mentioned before you came on. And it's really like they said, it's an honor to have you on the podcast. Really growing up watching you play, the '94 World Cup, watching you play on the old Colorado Rapids teams. It's really an honor, and I have a lot of interesting questions. We all do, and if you don't mind, I mean, really, I did a little bit of my research on you. I saw, coming out of college, you played a year with the San Diego Nomads, before you ultimately made your professional debut with the San Francisco Bay Blackhawks.
Yep.
And really, I'm curious to know, now there's we have the MLS League. Before we didn't have that. We have the draft. There's a lot more, I guess, opportunity for younger players to make it to the professionals. How have you seen that transformed, over the last 20 to 30 years, from when you started to now that it's almost, you got kids playing absolutely everywhere and the opportunities are almost endless.
Listen, we didn't have that many opportunities. The only place you really played was high school. College coaches would come watch you there. You would play ODP if you were lucky enough to make the ODP. So the opportunity now between the academies, MLS Next Pro, USL, there's opportunities for kids in so many different. Everybody's pathway is different. Not everybody's going to be a pro. Not everybody's going to play on the national team. Not everybody's going to play in MLS, but there are different levels where you can live that dream that we all have of playing professional soccer. So for me, lucky enough and blessed enough, we'll say, the right place at the right time. Coaches saw me play They took me to the under-20s. From there, I went to the full national team. I went to San Diego State. But to see the opportunities that all of these young men and women, let's be honest, men and women now, because of the NWSL and possibly what USL is going to do in a few years, forming that other league to open up opportunities and jobs for people that if you want something, if you want to play soccer, there's more opportunity now to be a pro than there ever was.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Go, Nico, you can take it.
No, go ahead.
What do you think, Chelo? I know you coach young kids.
Yep.
So, and we see this happening in Europe, and I want to know if we can see it in MLS soon, being that MLS right now the path is somewhat easier, but not for everyone. You have the Gavis, the Pedris, this 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds playing, and not only playing and getting 10, 15, but playing and being starters and being stars in their team. Do you see that happening in MLS anytime soon? Given that you see all the players from different academies, because Colorado plays against other teams. So I want to know if you see it coming into the MLS.
It's been coming for a while. The homegrown players, the younger players, the 16, 17, 18-year-old. If you look at what Dallas has done, Philadelphia with Paxton and but Pomykal from Dallas and Aronson from Philadelphia. The problem is you're developing them at 16, 17. By the time they're playing with the under-20s, they're playing, right about the under-20s, the under-17s. They've already been scouted by European clubs, which is awesome. I think that puts us into the world market now that people are coming over here and buying our players and taking our young 17. Look at Pulisic, look at Weston, look at Tyler Adams, look at all the young players that have left the academies, MLS, to go to Europe. So I think it's proving nowadays that what we're doing here is we've obviously scratched the surface of how we're doing things and how we're developing players, that younger players are going over to Europe for not 100,000, not 200,000. You're looking at between $4 and about $6 million worth of sales. So we're in the world market finally of trading and bringing players in and transferring players out. So we just have to keep developing and doing what we're doing.
Yeah, and absolutely.
And that's good news for the national team, because then you get all our players having that international Champions League, Europa League, any type of tournament, European leagues, and getting that playing time, And once they come here, you get that difference in how to play when you play against Mexico, Honduras, Costa Rica, and all the teams that you're going to play.
Yeah. Well, that's the important part. You just don't want to sell them and then they sit on the bench. That used to happen 10 years ago. Now every player is an impactful player, and the majority are getting lots of minutes. So I think we've seen the change of that last generation of national team players that didn't qualify for Russia compared to this younger generation who is getting a lot of playing time, and are players that are finally impacting their leagues.
Yeah, like Pepe. Pepe decided to go to let's say lower level team league. And look at him. He's banging goals, and he for sure will get his chance back in the U.S. men's national team. So
we'll see. You never know. We're 3.5 years away. There's no qualifying.
Well, but we have that Nations League coming up against Grenada and El Salvador. That's
but again, we can't. Unfortunately, we put a lot of these kids on a pedestal. They score in CONCACAF, and now we're thinking he's the next thing since sliced bread. And the only way you know what kind of level he's at is where he's playing in Europe. And then when he does play against good international competition, how does he do? Copa America is going to be a great opportunity, a great test for a lot of these younger players, be it Pepe, be it, Jesus Ferreira, be it whoever it is. That's where you're going to see who stands out and who is ready to take that number 9 shirt.
Talking about that number 9 shirt, there's been recent talks that the French kid, the guy that plays at Lille, he might be called up to the national team. I think that would be a really good option, because I don't think we really have a striker at the moment, right?
We have strikers, but we don't have a striker to buy. But I think when you go back and you say this kid's got to make up his mind what country he wants to represent, just like when you talk about Musa had opportunities, Gio Reyna had opportunities to go to different places. So the important thing is to see where he wants to play. And again, it's the same thing as the rivalry between USA and Mexico trying to get players. What players can you bring in? What players will stick? And we'll see. Right now, we've got to keep looking and searching for that 9 because I think we have everything else on that team except for a pure goal scorer.
Do you like Brandon Vasquez?
I'd like to see him play at a higher level than playing in the January camps.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did enough to merit an opportunity to be on that Copa America team for the U.S. But you got to wait and see how his form is when he gets into MLS.
Yeah. We also got to see who we name as men's international coach, right, Chelo? Because I mean, right now it's all up in the air. I mean, I don't know who your favorite is, or who you think might be the favorite. On our side, we only read what's out there in social media and in the news.
Yeah.
We've heard Bielsa as an outside candidate. We've heard Jesse Marsh. We've heard Jim Curtin. Even Brian Schmetzer. Even Giovanni Savaresi. So I mean, we've got a lot of names out there. I don't know who do you think?
I even heard Terry Henry the other day.
We talked about it.
Oh yeah, he was asked. He was
CBS.
asked. Yeah.
Here's the deal. It depends on if you want the easy choice. If it's an easy no-brainer, then you take Jesse Marsh. Right? That's a no-brainer. He's an American coach. He's been in Europe. But you're still 3.5 years away. You don't have any qualifying. By next year, by this summer, by the end of this year, when you're getting ready for Copa America, then I feel that you need to have that guy that's going to start getting this team ready towards that World Cup. And that's just me. I don't think we're in a rush. We're in a panic that we need a coach right now. So coaches at the end of this year are going to be out of contracts. Somebody talked about Jurgen Klopp. Why not? Mourinho, why not? Why not take a look at them? You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially because they're big names. They're like the sexy name, right? And I feel like having the World Cup in 2026 be in the U.S., you kind of have to have a well-known coach, right?
I think here's my opinion, and this is just my opinion. We keep hiring new coaches, right? Coaches that have never coached in a World Cup. And now we've got players that have experience in a World Cup. So at what point do we hire a coach who's already been there, done that, has been successful in a World Cup, that knows what it's going to take to prepare a team for the World Cup, what's going to help us prepare this team to get out of the group stage and into the next phase and into a quarterfinal? So, I think we need a coach with a little bit of already World Cup experience and some success in the World Cup.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see who becomes available then. As the year goes on, because right now there's not too many that might have that experience out there.
Exactly.
So and also, I mean, we're still without a GM and we're still without a president, or without. So we got to figure that out as well. One question I'm dying to ask you, man. I'm from Uruguay. I'm a big Tab Ramos fan. I know you shared the locker room with him.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it like sharing the locker room with Tab Ramos, with Alexi Lalas, with guys like this? All of us that have seen you play, seen you guys play, we're all just wondering, what's it like sharing the locker room? Is it the same thing as like what we go through, on our Sunday league games, or is it a little bit crazier than that? Like, you guys listen to some crazy music in there. I mean,
nah, listen, we become friends. Initially, when we came in together, it was just getting to know who each other. And when you're in a World Cup cycle from 94 to 98, you become friends. You learn each other's tendencies. You know each other's families. The music in the locker room, back then, I can tell you there was no salsa being played or anything like that. So it was a lot of AC/DC. It was a lot of Motley Crue, that kind of stuff.
Who controlled the music? I feel like Alexi would control the music. I don't know why, but
Alexi and Kobe.
See,
Alexi and Kobe took care of that.
Okay.
Every once in a while, Ronaldo would jump in with U2. He would jump in with his U2 song, but you got to imagine, we had County Crows. We had all those. So it was a different era.
Absolutely, man. I'm sure nowadays, it's they might be listening to us, maybe some EDM or some hip hop, something definitely different.
Yeah, they definitely got different music than we did. That's for sure. So, you know what I mean?
Going back to that World Cup, to that time, to that World Cup. We had a fan that came out and asked a question. How was that Colombia game for you guys?
It was nerve-wracking. You want to go with that? Let's go with we've never beat them before leading into that World Cup. So just different. You know what I mean? It was one of those games where we knew we needed a win or at least a tie. We needed something in that group. And when we walked out there, you could see the first 5 minutes, we were a little nervous. We ended up saving one off the line. And it was, as the game went on, we felt, I think that if you watch the game, we got a little bit more confident. We got a little bit more settled. And, again, it's unfortunate. A little bit of luck goes a long way. But at the end of the day, we needed to get a job done. And it was not easy. It took a team effort. It took to the last 90th minute to make sure that we got what we needed, those 3 points, because those 3 points automatically put us into almost the next group because they were taking third place teams. So, that it was just one of those games that you go back and you'll replay it in your head all the time. You know what I mean? How difficult it was because of the fact you knew the pressure that Colombia had. You knew the pressure that they already had with losing the first game. And hi, boys. Sorry, my dogs are here.
It's all right.
Welcome to the podcast, boys.
So you can see my boy. So it was complicated. I'll be honest with you. We'll just say that we were very lucky at times with saving that ball off the line. Mike Sorber and Fernando and Tony came up with some big saves. Tab with a fantastic ball into Ernie Stewart, who scores a fantastic goal. And, someone above us kept an eye on us. How's that?
Yeah, and coming off that win, or coming off that game with Colombia and with that momentum and then playing Brazil.
We screwed up. Let's be honest. We screwed up.
Well, my question is,
if we beat or if we tie Romania, we don't get Brazil.
No, but you did. And look, you guys had the chance to beat Brazil. There's no doubt about it. I have zero doubt in my mind if Branco doesn't break Tab Ramos' nose and doesn't get that red, you guys beat Brazil. I have no doubt in my mind. No doubt. Because
I'm glad you don't have a doubt in your mind.
So I know it already happened or anything like that.
I'm gonna tell you this. They played with 10 men and it still felt like they had 12 on the field. That's how good they were.
How come nobody ever got Branco back? Just out of curiosity. I mean,
he was out of the game. He got the red card when he got listen, it wasn't about payback. It wasn't about anything. I think that when you go back and look at that play, he throws an elbow. Tab's kind of ducking. If he would have gone after me, he would have nailed me in the chest. Tab was ducking. He was going for the ball. He was a little low. He threw it. He got what he deserved. After the game, he went to supposedly, I think he called or he went to the hospital and saw Tab and apologized. So,
okay,
what are you going to do? You know what I mean? It's unfortunate. It's just, I don't know if it's part of the game, but it was unfortunate that it happened. We just couldn't, unfortunately, capitalize on it. We tried. We did everything we could. I think we came close a few times. Then listen, if you go back to that game, we made one mistake, man. We let them through the middle of the field one time. You know, Romario gets the ball. He runs right there. He drags me out. I've got to go close him down. But Beto pulls off and away from Lexi. And next thing you know, he goes far post. And that's the one mistake we made in 90 minutes or 98 minutes, whatever we played. That's the one mistake we made, and they punished us for us. That's how good they are. They punished us with one mistake.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate.
Yep. So what do you do?
I want to go into a more fresh topic. We have the MLS starting this week.
Yep.
I wanted to know more or less your candidates to actually go all the way this year.
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I picked on my poll already. I think I have Philadelphia as one of the top, like always, we all know. I had Cincinnati up there. I even had Toronto up there with a few bodies that they've brought in.
Okay.
Orlando, I think when you look at this group, is dangerous. On the West, I don't know how you can go against LAFC right now. They've got. I think Seattle's going to be tough.
Don't you feel like LAFC lost a bit with the departures of Arango, with Chicho Arano, and
yeah, but
Tello?
You got to look at what everybody else is bringing in. Has anybody else really brought in big time? Austin will be a candidate. You know what I mean? Seattle with João Paulo back, so it'll. Like I said, I don't see a clear-cut favorite yet. Maybe Philadelphia because they're returning almost everybody.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, but this year, I got to be honest. I still sticking with. I think Cincinnati's going to do something interesting. I think Cincinnati could do something interesting, but I think, like always, you're going to find a dark horse. Who's the dark horse this year? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we're hoping Inter Miami.
We're hoping, Inter Miami does some.
I don't know, man. Higuain went on fire when things calmed down, and towards the end, he was going to retire. He killed it. He killed it. Who's going to take his place? Who's going to score goals?
I mean, we got hopefully Joseph Martinez. Yeah.
Well, again, we're hoping. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I don't see any team right now that. I still go with Philadelphia, LAFC, maybe a Cincinnati, and then a few other teams are candidates. But again, transfer window opens up, somebody goes by as a player or two, and all of a sudden they become a candidate. So,
well, one last question before we let you go.
Yeah, man.
We were talking a lot about jerseys over the last couple episodes. And we weren't too happy with a lot of the new jersey releases, and we're kind of throwing up some pictures of some old Colorado Rapids jerseys. You were there. What do you think? Your opinion on the jerseys from back in the day versus the jerseys today?
You can't compare, bro. Are you kidding me? My jersey, when I started sweating and we were playing back at in Tampa. And all those places, those jerseys weighed 100 pounds. As soon as you started sweating, they started dripping down. Nowadays, you got this dry fit that pulls the moisture away from you. So this, let's be honest, it's a little bit more modern now, the quality and everything. But back then, I think there might have been some sort of cotton blend with polyester, and they weighed, even the shorts weighed, the socks were thick. So.
But in terms of the design and stuff, would you say that the design, at least back then, they had some more out of the box instead? Like right now, everything seems all cutter, where it's it's got the 3 Adidas lines, and they're kind of like all.
Well, remember back then you had different companies. We had Kappa, there was Nike, there was Adidas, we had Puma at one point. So I think you had a little bit more ability to be creative per team, right? So now I think that now it's a little different. I do like some of the retro ones that have come out. I do like the Bruce Lee one that Seattle put out there. I do like the New York Red Bulls one. Do you guys not?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I like the
I like the LA
DC
Galaxy one.
Oh, I got the Galaxy one too, the green one.
Yeah. No, I don't like the special one that they're gonna use. The white one with flowers on it now because of the Rose Bowl. I feel like that's a little bit too much.
Oh no, not that one.
No, I like the DC United cherry blossom jersey. I thought it was.
Oh, there you go.
It was a nice touch to the city, but all right, man. We're gonna let you go. The last question, and it's coming from one of our fans here. They want to know better hair, you or Alexi Lalas?
Oh, dude.
I take Cello all day, every day.
I don't know, man. That's a tough one because we're both pretty ugly. So I would think mine was more just average. I think that with the fro and the goatee, it just made Lexi. So I'm going to have to go with Lexi. I think had a little cooler hair than I did.
All right. We'll take your word for it. All right, Cello, man. We really appreciate you coming on.
No problem, boy. Sorry about being a little late.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. We appreciate your time, man.
Anytime.
Thank you, Cello.
All right. Have a good one. All right, guys. Well, I know, Renny, I know you have to go. You have some work to get to. So
work to get to. Daddy, I'm surprised. Are you still in Ecuador or something, dude?
No,
you're changing your background every single day.
Yeah, man. So actually, I actually got back from Ecuador last week. I will have,
What happened to those names that you said that you were going to
promise some names? I did. Yeah, we had a very, 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 a show that was full of stuff. So maybe we'll save it for next week. We'll have a special episode coming up next Monday, most likely.
All right. It'll Friday, the Spanish episode.
Not only that, but I'll be taping, guys. I'll be at Drive Pink on Saturday for my first time. We'll be there very early. And I will be taping basically my entire day and my entire experience at Drive Pink Stadium for the first time. So I hope to have a beautiful time with La Familia. I hope to eat some choripans.
They're good. They're good at the stadium.
I think that's the reason why you're going to the Drive Pink.
You know why I'm going, man. So and we'll get those names for you guys next week. But I appreciate, we appreciate what, you guys being on the show with us. We appreciate Cello, all the fans out there that have been watching. Everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Hit the little notification icon. That way, when one of our new videos comes up. But, once again, this is Danny for This is Futbol.
Peace.
Vamos arriba al Inter.
Sudando la gota, salimos a matarnos.